Let's finish some projects today. Hi, it's Joan from Joan's Designs and Creations, and I have 3 sundaes and a milkshake that I'm going to just add some final touches to finish them up. First, I'm going to take my mint chocolate chip shake, and I'm going to add my mint piece of candy to it. And of course, these are all fake, and my fake chocolate, those two were both made out of resin. I let them sit for a few days, and then I added it to them. So that finishes off my mint chocolate chip shake. Then now let's move on to our sundaes. I have 3 different types. This one has colorful sprinkles in it. I'm just adding some Aleene's tacky glue to the top and brushing it on. That spackle that I had put on there the other day has set up nicely. So now I can just add some of the glue to it and then put these extra decorations on the top, which I'm going to add some colorful sprinkles. First, I'm not sure where I got those from, but I'm going to add them to my little tray and use my tweezers and put them on. They're little candy pieces that I'm adding them around, and I like to do them one at a time whenever they're pretty big attachments there, because then I can control where they're at and use less, because I don't have to worry about them falling off and landing on the floor and then having to clean them up. So I like to add them individually, then I can get them to where I want them on the item. I'm going to add some fun little twisted colors of sprinkles now. I got those from Temu. And so I'm just adding them on to bring some brightness to the color. Next, I am going to add the little pink macaron that I have to the top of it. And when I first added on there, it stuck straight up, and I didn't really care for that. So I changed it and pulled that off, and then cleaned it off my and then I just added it to the side. Now I'm going to move on to my chocolate and banana sundae. I got these sprinkles from Comar's Craft and Corner, and they are just adorable, and I love bananas and chocolate together. So I did the same thing, added my tacky glue, and I am putting them on individually so that I can keep them spread apart and they can be seen and they're not messy, just thrown on there haphazardly. Control it and it works out a lot better, and you use less supplies in the long run, and your sprinkles will go far. So I'm just adding a few of them here and there. And I'm going to add some pieces of chocolate char to them, just to bring out that chocolate color in there a little more. And I had more. I have pink and white, but I'm just going to use the chocolate ones on this one, on this particular sundae. And then I'm going to, you can see I had a lot left. Then I'm going to add a piece of fake banana to the top. Now I'm going to move on to the lemon. And as I'm putting the sprinkles on this, these are just going to be yellow sprinkles, so those you will see that I just pour them on after I spread out the glue. But these started as little plastic cups. I put these sprinkles on with some Mod Podge, let that dry, and then I put some spackling on the top. And that's how I made all the sundaes. And that's how I did the milkshakes also. So you'll see with these ones, I just dumped them on. They don't have to be separated so you can see them, because they were all just yellow sprinkles. And of course, these are all faux bakes. Going to add my piece of lemon onto the side. And then I have a little lemon cabochon that I'm going to add to it. And you didn't see there, but I got my fingers stuck together with the super glue, and I had to yank them apart. Now I'm going to start with my bows, and I get my little bow dabber out, and I put a zip tie in there, and I'm going to cut different sizes of different ribbons that I'm going to lay, and some of them I will use some lace also. So this I have a brown and white that I'm putting in there, and a piece of glitter rope now that I have. And I put a little piece of wire in the middle of it. That makes it easier to control and to shape if I want it in a particular shape. Then a little yellow string, and then I just layer everything over again and have a second piece of each of the different types of materials that I used. And I take the zip tie, tie it around, pull it together, twist that tie part to the back, and then cut it off. Just shape it a little bit. Then I will move on to the second one. The shake already had a bow on it, so I don't have to make one for that. So I'm just making it for the sundaes. And you'll see I have different material that I'm using. Different lace. I used a dark brown and a different lace of a brown. And then I'm still going to use that yellow because I have the lemon and then I have the banana and chocolate. So I have two of them that are basically the same colors. Just layering those on there. I used a different type of lace. Putting that piece of wire in that cording also. Pull the zip tie through, push it around to the back and tie it tight, pull it tight, and then cut off the excess. And then snip off the back of that zip tie. The third one will be for the multicolored sprinkles. So I use a thicker lace and then a pink and then a blue. And you'll find the second time I go and I cut two of them at the same time instead of going back and forth. Then I do a mint green. I love that color. And then go ahead and just make those again. Double it, pull the zip tie through, pull it around the back and push it together. Whenever you're making these type of bows, you can use any type of fabric, ribbons to put them in there. They're not your typical loop ribbons. And then I have little buttons that I was going to put on the front of those. And I started with that, but with that button in the back, the hole, it wouldn't stay flat. So I'm going to have to use my wire cutters and snip those off to make them flat. So then I decided to use on one of them a yellow flower with a brown center. And then I was going to use that lemon again, and it was too big. So then I used a little macaron that I had for the next one. And then for the multicolored one, I have a pink, it's a dollop like a kiss, and added that to there. Just have to hold it in place for a little bit so that they can set up. So I add my ribbon to the lemon, and then I'm going to do the banana and chocolate ribbon. And then last, I will do the colorful sprinkled ones. And I'm just using some super glue to get that attached. I have to hold it in place for a little bit. So I have my 4 completed projects that I did today, 3 sundaes and a milkshake. Thank you for joining me. Have a good evening.